Zoogerton, the Zoological Society Papers of Mrs. Featherdown, Episode 2, Advice Best Unshelled. My dearest readers, it has come to the attention of this humble chronicler that Lady Acala, long-necked jewel of our ton, recently took a most desperate and dignified step. Burdened by the strain within her arranged union and the ever-present whispers regarding her childless state, she sought counsel from the so-called wise old tortoises, a trio of elderly gentlemen whose reputations for wisdom are matched only by their reputations for being incorrigibly male. One must admire her optimism. Reports indicate that Acala approached the trio with all the grace expected of a lady of her stature. Yet, instead of the empathy she sought, she was met with the sort of advice only creatures with thick shells, thicker egos, and the lingering confidence of retired rakes could provide, delivering pronouncements with the pomp of males who believe themselves authorities on everything. First to offer his perspective was Buster, keeper of questionable romantic histories, who was said to have advised that Acala might consider playing hard to get, insisting that nothing rekindles passion quite like a lady who pretends not to notice her own husband. This from a gentleman who once attempted to court two sisters simultaneously and addressed his love notes merely to "Dearest Sister," just to be safe. No sooner had Buster concluded his contribution than Dozer, self-appointed authority on all things female, lumbered forward with his own. Delivered with the blustering confidence of a creature who has never once questioned the validity of his opinions, his counsel reportedly involved encouraging Acala to remind Benjamin of his good fortune by adopting a more agreeable disposition. One wonders whether Dozer has ever considered that the world might not, in fact, revolve around his shell. And finally, as though determined to outshine the others, Tank, purveyor of bold and unsolicited opinions, cleared his throat with great ceremony. The most self-assured of the trio and the only one who still carries a calling card, lest the next generation be deprived of his timeless rakish wisdom, he was said to have declared that Acala's troubles would vanish if she simply praised Benjamin more often, as males, in his view, thrive on admiration. This from a gentleman who reportedly became convinced of his own irresistible charm after overhearing a lady compliment what he believed to be his impressive grandeur, a compliment later revealed to have been meant for the marble statue standing regally behind him. Each elder delivered his counsel with the smug satisfaction of someone who believes his romantic exploits are legendary, though the ton remembers them mostly as cautionary tales. Acala, ever the lady, received their counsel with impeccable grace, and withdrew, no doubt grateful to depart before they attempted to illustrate their so-called courtship techniques, which according to rumour have not evolved since the last ice age. And so she carried on, as ladies so often must, trusting her own discernment over the faded philosophies of rakes long past their prime. Will Acala's composure hold firm as the zoo's whispers grow louder, or will the ton finally glimpse the turmoil beneath her polished calm? Will Benjamin's choices place him at the centre of next week's most delicious scandal, drawing eyes he may not wish to meet? And will Nettie's secret affections remain hidden? Or will they surface in a way that alters the course of all three lives? Only time, and your devoted Mrs. Featherdown, shall tell. Until next week, my dear readers, I remain your ever-observant, ever-anonymous chronicler of Zoo Society, Mrs. Featherdown.